Hello everyone, welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time joining us. This is Tammy from Tammy Colors 2, and I am here with our next installment in the Time for a Cuppa, a Celebration of Tea coloring book video series. This is a coloring book by Jen Racine that came out earlier in 2023, and I started coloring the pages and drinking the tea at the same time. It's been a challenge because I have a lot of tea and I didn't have all the teas. So let's get started. I do have a link for the book in the description box if you are interested. I will tell you she has changed the cover, I believe, to a brighter, I love this one. I love the new one, so don't be thrown off by that. You should check out Jen's books. She is amazing. She's fun. So I've been a fan for a long time. I'll show you what we did. We have done so far. We have done Assam tea, and I do have links to all the videos, all the previous videos in the description if you want to check one of them out. We did boba. That's one of my favorites right now. We did Ceylon. We did chai, chamomile. I really like the way this one came out too. The dandelion tea, that was an experience. The Darjeeling, the Earl Grey, the English breakfast. And last week we did ginger tea, which was fun. This week it is hibiscus, if you could not tell. I guess not from there. Anyway, I'm going to try not to spill this. Hibiscus tea is a flower. It is an herbal tea. Now, if you've drank any kind of generic herbal tea, fruit tea or anything like that, I know Celestial Seasonings uses it a lot in their herbals. Most companies do. They always use a lot of hibiscus. I was trying to figure out why. It's probably just a good base, but that's also why all of your herbal teas or fruit teas come out red. And personally, I love hibiscus. It has a pleasantly tart flavor. It's not too tart. And I know that probably helps cut the sweetness of some of the fruit teas that have it in it. But I get tired of every one of my fruit teas having hibiscus in it. So I actually try to purposefully buy fruit teas that do not have it. Not because I don't like it, just because I mean, that's the overwhelming flavor that you get, and I want to taste the other fruits. So, but that being said, it is a lovely tea. I have never actually had just hibiscus. However, it's a very prominent flavor in a lot of fruit teas, so it's basically what you taste most of the time, because things like apples and peaches and things like that don't have a lot of flavor. It depends on the apples they use, but to make teas out of them, they don't typically carry a lot of flavor, but I have had some really good ones. So it is very red. You don't want to spill it on yourself or anything. Very, very red color, because it is a red flower. And on today's page, there are hibiscus flowers. The hibiscus tea I actually ordered it from Amazon. This is Mexican hibiscus. They believe that it originated in Africa, the flowers that they use. They're very beautiful flowers. They're grown everywhere. In Ohio, we could grow them, but they wouldn't come back because they'd probably die in the winter. It does smell like cranberries. It does have a very tart smell. These are just the dried flowers, and they're, like I said, very red when you put them in water and steep them. I steep it for 5 to 10 minutes. It is very good cold and iced. It's very good with honey. I do enjoy it a lot. And it will stay in your mouth. So that is our hibiscus tea. A little thing about hibiscus tea that I will start talking about here. I wanted to get started coloring the page and actually talking. I pulled out some colors. This is going to be pink and red and green. I may have to pull out a different green for those leaves. But I've got my Arteza markers, and it's going to be pink and red and green, pinky purpley. Probably sort of similar to last week's, but I think it'll be a little more purple colored if I do it right. We'll see. I may have to add some darker purples. So let me sit down, and hopefully I have my window open today. It's 63 degrees here in Ohio, where I am, and it's chilly. It's nice to have the windows open. That's one of the things I enjoy about spring, late spring, early summer. But the problem is you can't decide whether you're hot or cold because you're chilly, yet you know you're going to be warm in a couple of hours by the time the sun gets all the way up. I don't know how I got blue on there or what that would have come from because it's not even in that spot. I must have dripped something on it. That's weird. Oh well, we'll cover that up. We will, you know, it might have come from here. I guess that means maybe I turned it over, but that's weird. I won't use that one. I tend to I'll use my blotter sheets for a long time. I'll use a couple, and then I just eventually put them in the recycling bin. I use old paper. I use things that I've printed that are no good. I have a bin that I throw them all into, and I'm actually using cardstock that wouldn't go through my printer. So let's see, where are we gonna start today? I forget what these are called, but they're kind of like a white flower with a yellow center. And I think my pot might be like a purpley red. I think it's going to be dark. This is definitely, the hibiscus flowers are going to be red. So, and yes, hibiscus is a flower tea. It does not have any caffeine. And it is very refreshing. Like I said, it is not, it's tart, but it is not sour. And I guess it's popular to drink it with lemon. And I'm gonna try not. Let's just zoom in here. What are we gonna do? I want to do the hibiscus flowers first. It's gonna take me a bit to decide how I want to do the pots and stuff, but I can do the hibiscus flowers. So, how is everybody today? Let me find my reds that I pulled out. I think that's my orangey red. R30, R33. See, I bought a container to stick. I mean, it's just a cheap glass container. I need to go get another one because I filled it with pens that I got for something else. But I wanted to have it on my desk empty to stick markers in so that they would stand up so I could see them. And I filled it. I guess I need to figure out something to do with those pens. Because see here, this is what I have done with it. And it's just a square glass thing from Dollar Tree. It's really nice. And I didn't pull out anything else because why? Because I didn't think about it. But that's okay. So we'll find all of our reds. I think I need everything except the orangey red. Oh, and here, there's a light one. I picked out four. I picked out 4 pinky purples, red purples. So I've got my dark, next darkest, lighter. And if you can hear Scotty, he's probably going to meow. And I've got, the stamens have little, these are like a yellowy orange. So we're going to make those. I might do those first. I'm going to do those with a nice orangey color. And then lighten them up when we get to the top. Scotty is my cat, one of my cats. I have 2. Probably because my husband would freak out if I got any more. So, have y'all been coloring this book? Oh, yes. don't forget, I found a tag, and it's hashtag time for a Cuppa coloring book. I did that rather than create, because it's such a long book title. I didn't want to do like Tammy's blah blah blah, you know. I just thought we could post to that coloring book hashtag and it will be a pretty wall. You can find it. I'll put the hashtag in the description. I have gone back and put it in all the videos, I believe. I was doing that the other day. Maybe. No, I need to do it. I need to put it in the videos. I don't think I've done that yet. It's hard when you do things and then you decide later that you want to, you have like a video series and then you decide later that you want to, you know, add something or change something, or there should be something that you should have done all along. And then you have to go back and edit the description and put that in there. But so we're gonna do a little bit of yellow here. This will be pretty. I just thought it would be easier to do those first. All right, so then how am I gonna start with this? Let me see. My reds. So I've got, this is this one. This is my lightest one. Nice pinky red. This is my next darkest one. And then this is the darkest. So those are my reds that I'm going to use for my hibiscus flower. And well, what I tend to do is, it's like everyone does it different. What I do, and there's no right or wrong way, you just have to figure out what works for you. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't think that they're not good at coloring with markers, and the only thing I can say is it just takes practice. You just got to do it. It took me a while to get used to doing marker blending, and I'm still having trouble with the bleed on some of them. So I start with my lightest color, and I try to figure out, like, a flower would be lighter on the edges generally, and darker in the center, and you just kind of bring that up. Of course, you can see it's faster than pencil, and I usually just work on one leaf at a time like this, and I'll bring it all the way up to there. Then if I go over it with this lighter color that was on the bottom, and you have to be a little bit careful because it will, I mean, the ink kind of builds up, so it will force ink out and bleed because you're just loading your page with liquid. But it will soften the edges. Then I'm going to go with another darker color, and I may not need my darkest color. We will see. We're going to put some of that down in here. I think I just kind of assume I can't teach people anything because everybody knows everything by now. But I don't think that's true. There's that. So I'm going to go with, I could use the lightest color or I could use this color. I'm choosing to do the second color to blend that. And I can put a little more, really light color on here. You just, like I said, have to be careful because it will bleed over. Although you don't, if it's going into a part that you're going to color, you don't have to worry about it. So see how it's doing that? And it does bleed through quite a bit. and you'll have to forgive everyone that is out gallivanting around with their motorcycles and stuff. You can probably hear the birds. So I'm going to make it dark in here, maybe go along these lines. You know, like a lot of people say, there are no art police. So, and then I will, I think I'm going to use this red color to blend that out rather than go to the darker color. And it pushes the ink and it will feather it out so you don't get sharpish lines. And then you can always blend it as many times as you want to kind of get the look that you want. Sometimes the more you work with it, the better it looks. And like with pencil, you can always go over it with your lightest color and it will feather out all of your darker colors. And if they're still wet, you can, and you got this, like say I got this too dark, I could keep going over this and it would push the ink out and lighten it. So that's one way to fix it. So we'll see. This will lighten up as it gets drier, I hope, because I wanted it to be a nice bright red. I think it'll be pretty no matter what. I think it'll contrast nicely with my purples that I'm going to use, that I have to decide where I'm going to put the purpley colors. So let's see. Let's do another one. Let's get this hibiscus. So, yes, I did write some things down about hibiscus tea, like other herbal teas. And I see this like with a lot of herbal teas. So it is believed to have lots of antioxidants, which they do. Anything like fruits, vegetables generally have lots of antioxidants. Flowers, they can be good for you as long as you're not allergic to them. It may lower your blood pressure. It may help improve your blood fat levels, like your HDL and LDL cholesterols. If you're struggling with that, they believe that it can help with that, and they've done some studies, but as just an addition, I don't know why that is. Let's see. And the allergies are getting me. What else? It may boost, it may help with weight loss, it contains compounds that may reduce cancer risk, which if you eat healthy, and you know, that isn't always the secret, but you know, my grandmother, my mom's mom, is from Kentucky, and she was one of those old Kentucky families that have been down there for a while, and you know, and she grew up poor. There were 13 kids, and she always said, you should eat some of everything as it comes into season. The fruits and the vegetables, you know. She would do the 13 days of Christmas every year. 12 days of Christmas, sorry. 13 days of Christmas. Where did I get that from? She would do that every year. She would basically, the day, I think it started Christmas Day, on a calendar, and it would be like next year's calendar, or, well, no, this year's calendar. She would write it down when it started, and you write down what the weather is like every day. Now, I mean, you can't be like too specific. We got 3 inches of rain and blah, blah, blah. But she would write that down, and supposedly, and she wasn't that off most of the time, every day was for a month of the year, and that was what the weather would be like for that month, if that makes sense. So I miss that a lot. But yeah, she always said, and she lived to be 91 or something. I think she was, well, she would have been 91 if she lived for another week. So I think that qualifies, because I think sometimes you have to count the time in the womb, because, I mean, you're aging then too, right? But she had a goiter. She had a goiter most of her life, and the doctors were fascinated with, because people don't have goiters that often. So she was something of a fascination, and she was determined. She had it all of her life, and why fix it? And in a way, I think that's what ended up killing her. But I think that she developed, it's really hard when you're over 90 for them to do tests and find out what's wrong with you. I think they tend to be a little, you know, cautious. She was not frail by any means, but I didn't intend this to be talk about my grandma day. So I apologize. It's interesting, the folklore and the habits we pick up. Like around here in the spring, and it actually is true. So we have a forsythia bush, and I can put a picture of a forsythia if you have never seen one. It's a bush. It has really pretty leaves in the summer, and in the spring, usually around March or April, it depends on the weather, the forsythia will bloom. Now it gets yellow flowers on its stalks, and they say that when the forsythia blooms, you have 3 more snows. And that is snows or frost. Sometimes we kind of count a frost. But it really is true. It is a cold weather flower, or sorry, bush, because it likes to bloom when it's still rather cold outside, early spring. And yeah, I find that that's actually true. When you see the forsythia bloom, you're going to have 3 more snows or 3 more frosts. I think it's 3 more snows, actually. You get a lot of different things from different people, but it really is true. Like, almost like clockwork every year. So if you've never heard that, that's a fun one. I actually planted some forsythia in my yard so I could see them in the spring. You know, the old wives' tales, they are cool. This is like old wives' tales day, right? We're drinking hibiscus tea and talking about, you know, your grandma's old wives' tales, which are not just tales. She would believe, this one was kind of funny, and I don't know where they got this, but if you had a wart, you would get a clean dish rag, rub it with the wart, and take it and bury it in the backyard. And that would cure your wart. I never had to do that, so I don't know. I don't know where that one came from. If anybody knows, let me know. Oh yeah, and I get a lot of people who say, you don't sound like you're from Southern Ohio. It's just because over the years I try not, I don't try on purpose, but I talk to so many different kinds of people. I have to make sure that my speech is very clear, And when I'm talking with my southern accent, it doesn't always get clear. So that's kind of developed. I mean, it comes out. I enjoy it. I like to say I'm from as far north as south gets, which is kind of true with Southern Ohio. So that's cool. I almost got this hibiscus flower done. It's going to be pretty. It's going to be so pretty set out against all the purples and stuff. We may have to put some glitter in the center of these hibiscus flowers, because I just see that happening. Sparkle. Gotta have some sparkle and some shine. So y'all have any wives' tales that you believe in, that you have found to be true over the years, and a lot of people don't think that they are? I always find that fascinating. I never discount people's experiences or the wisdom of some of our elders. I mean, I have a healthy questioning, but I don't disrespect that and just say, that's not true. That can't be possible. There are a lot of things in this world that are possible that aren't necessarily explainable. All right, so there's that. I think I forgot to feather out the edge of this one. Oh, I got it on my leaf. See, that's what I have to be careful about, but that's okay. We'll fix it. Not worried. Let's see, what greens have I got? I've got a couple of greens. I'm gonna try this light green first. I kind of have to make sure that I'm in the, I figured it's hibiscus tea. We should color that hibiscus flower. I haven't quite decided. Oh, you know, this reminds me, the color in the leaf, like, on Instagram, if you follow Coco Wild Publishing, she's been doing a lot of stuff on how to draw water droplets or color water droplets, and that looks so cool. I want to try that. I just haven't had time. Oh my gosh. I have not had time. I barely have time to manage to get y'all a video out. And I want to do, like, I need to do, like, a coloring chat, because there's a lot that I have to talk about. And I don't have time. I barely have time today. But you know what? I'm trying to keep up with these. I'm trying not to disappoint my regulars, because in the past I have started video series and then given up on them because I just don't it's very hard to do a regular, I don't know how some people do it, regular video series. Ugh, look at that. I need to fix that, make that look a little more kosher right there. I really butchered that leaf, didn't I? But it's okay. If you play around with it, either it'll look worse or it'll look better. Right? Put some of this on top of it. I think I might. I don't think I like the really light green, and I don't know if this dark green was the right choice, but it might work out. It looks so different when it dries. But we'll feather it out with that, see what happens. Because the leaves are kind of dark, actually. So, let's see, what else? Oh yeah, if you all didn't see, because I'm sure that not everybody reads all the comments and videos, but if you're a fan of Jen Racine, she's coming out with a new coloring book. Let's go to the national parks, I think, or something like that, sometime soon, which is very cool. I love the parks books and the maps books. I need to get the Canada one. She's got several books like that. And I want to get Happy Pattern. Let's see if I can make this look a little better this time. Be a little more discerning with my green shading here. I could just use a pencil, but like, I am trying to get better at marker shading. And also in one of the comments, she had said how it was her nephew, when he was sick in the hospital with COVID, he gave her a picture because he wanted her to have a picture to color, which is very sweet. And she didn't know what it was. It was like an alien craft. It's just a great story, Jen, if you watch this. And it's in the comments of, I think, video number 10. And she said she didn't know what it was, and then she looked it up and she figured out that it was a Razor Crest, which is from The Mandalorian, and it's a giant picture, I guess. I can't remember how big she said it was. And she's trying this, it's her big project. She's trying to get colored, and I'm like, all of us want to see this picture. I want to see a picture of a colored Razor Crest, because that would be cool. Would it not? I mean, a colored Razor Crest by Jen Racine. I mean, yes, that would be awesome. And I want to know, I mean, you'd have to, because they have a patina, you know, a metallic finish, and they're old. They're like antique ships. So you gotta make them look very used. Although it's fantasy, you can do whatever you want, right? No coloring police. See above under no coloring police. Okay, so that's my hibiscus. It'll be really pretty when I get some sparkle in there. It's really pretty now. I'm happy with that. And then these, I need to use my really light yellow just to color in this flower here. And then those will be white. I'm intending on leaving those white. I have another hibiscus to color up there. These are tea leaves, I'm sure. These are some kind of palm leaf. Which I think I'll probably just use these colors, but maybe I'll use the light one in the mid and not use the dark on these up here. We'll see. So I think that's cool. In the pot, I don't know, where am I at? 30 minutes. Oof. Guess I could color the other little flowers, because it'll only take a minute to color those in. Oh, these will definitely need some kind of sparkle and fun shine. That one. Does anyone else feel like you're cheating when you leave things white because you're not coloring it? But that's actually a challenge. I mean, it's leaving white space and white things is kind of like the biggest challenge of coloring sometimes, I think. I've done it before. I go back and look at things that I colored a while ago, and I would leave, you know, to make a shine, you leave kind of like a white space in the middle of where you want the shine to be, and it's like super cool. But I always tend to want to put color everywhere. Let's see, am I gonna regret it if I make this pot? See, let's look at what other colors I have, because I've got these red purples. See, that's my red. RP, 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 RP. All right, so I've got my lightest one. I mean, the leaves and stuff. There, I've got my lightest one. I think this is the next darkest one. And then, oh, I think I did those in the wrong order, but that's okay. And that's the darkest one. So I'm not sure that this is going to be purple enough. What did I say this was? RPOO? Because RP00. Maybe if I go out, maybe I need to go with, I think I might have to change my colors up and go with my RP31 and my P00, P01, and do the more purpley reds, because I think that's the color that I'm wanting rather than these, because these are more red, these are more purpley red. I like these colors. P00, P01. The P01 and the P05 are very similar. So maybe we'll do that, and we'll use that for the pot. Oh, where are they? P. Here they are. Because those are the dark one. More of the color I think I was looking for. All right. Now the question is, yep, it's gonna be the pot. We're gonna do the pot. It's gonna be purple. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to decide what this bird is up here, and I need to color that. I'm kind of worrying about time because I've been talking for a long time, but I figure you know, and I don't know. Do people? I know it's obviously people do like long videos. I try not to make them an hour. I try to make them like a half hour, 45 minutes. But maybe y'all like that. I mean, I watch hour-long videos. So don't ask me why I worry about it so much. I think this will be a pretty color. I've actually seen teapots that are this color. Going to be lots of reds and purples in this one. Just switch out to get around this. More loud traffic. You notice as you get older, you grumble like that. Oh my God, that's so loud. Why are they making so much noise? Like, I feel like the old people on the porch already grumbling about the noise and stuff. Let's see. I gotta make sure that I'm actually in the frame here. We'll color this pot, and then I will work on getting the rest of it colored for you. See, that's gonna be really pretty against this red. That's what I wanted. That is what I wanted. And it's important to try to you know, because you have to make you happy, right? Coloring is kind of all about you and not everybody else. Doesn't matter if everybody else likes it, unless it matters to you that everybody else likes it. It's kind of like a free will, free country kind of thing. Free coloring. And I've probably let that sit too long. And now there's going to be a line, but we'll see if we can fix it. That's why I don't like doing, like when I have really big spaces, I usually use like watercolors or something. But I have done, you know, I do backgrounds with marker all the time. Well, not all the time, but large spaces. You just gotta be steady, don't stop. Unless you have a line that you can stop at. All right. And then I'll make this pot. See, this is the base of the pot, so we'll make that kind of like the dark color. It's down here, and then we'll use this, the dark on the lid. Yeah, I should make a pot with a completely different colored lid. I forgot to pull out a rattan color for whatever that is, for the, you know what I mean. Well, if you've had a teapot, you may have had one with a handle like that. I have one, a natural handle. I could go look and match the color. So, for ill or will, that's going to be what color my teapot is. So we'll see what I come up with. Anyway, let me go finish coloring this and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back and I finally finished it. Although for you, it's only been a second. And get ready for a pink palooza. Oh, so here it is, all done. I kind of went wild, didn't I? It's very colorful. It just happened. But I finally got it done. You know, there's just some sparkle and shine. I actually watercolored this and then put iridescent dragonfly glaze on top of it. So, because hummingbirds have an iridescent look to them. So I did that. I added some sparkle. And yeah, there you go. And I apologize, this video is really late this week, but life happens. And I took a picture of what my desk looked like while I was doing this because it's epic. And I will put it in here so you can see it, because I'm like, wow, this is a mess. And I'm sure that will drive some people crazy, but it's often what happens is because I'll just start pulling stuff out and it just stays there until I'm done. So yeah, well, thank you for joining me. So the next one is jasmine green tea, which I don't actually have a plain jasmine tea right now, but I have a solution and I think it'll be a fun treat. So we will see if that works out. It is jasmine tea, but you'll see. So stay tuned for the next video. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate your patience this week while I got this done. So have a great day. Drink some tea. Have some relaxing time. And, you know, color in your time for a Cuppa book or color something. Have a great day. I will see you in the next video. Bye.